Bo Dallas is making his debut on Raw. And honestly, guys, he is the most and will always ever will be the creepiest face in the history of the WWE. Believe it! What's up, y'all? Nature Girl 30 here, and I know I haven't really been done. I haven't done a lot of these in a very long time. I don't do many reviews. I don't know if y'all noticed. I haven't done really SmackDown TNA. I've decided to make those reviews random. My schedule has been insane. I'm exhausted most of the time, and I literally pass out in the middle of these, or I've been too burned out to actually do a review. So I've decided to make the TNA, my NG minutes with the TNA and SmackDown completely random, only if I feel like it. So they might pop up, they might not. But this is a Raw review, so let's get started with this, shall we? Now, guys, it was kind of nice to finally see Daniel Bryan come back with such a huge crowd reaction. Everybody still remembers what happened at WrestleMania, his triumphant win after the loss of the Undertaker. And honestly, it was really great to see that. And plus, Brie Bella in the ring because they just got married. Now they're supposed to be a power couple. Having Stephanie in there, I mean, okay, I guess the whole thing makes sense for her to be in there. But the one thing that I'm kind of on the fence about is Kane's resurgence as a monster. Now, I love my Kane. I love my Kane as a monster. But I love my Kane as a monster without having to be controlled. He was told to go back to being a monster. But the fact that he didn't listen to her and he continued to just go and just destroy Daniel Bryan makes me happy that my monster Kane is back. But then it kind of puts a sour taste in my mouth because he was told to do so. But if he attacks Stephanie, then that's gonna be even better for me. But he didn't do that. It seems like he's still controlled by Stephanie, and that's the one thing that just bothers me still about him becoming a monster. But let's just see what goes on with the next pay per view. That he might just come out being an all out fiend. He might attack everybody and go back to being the destructive Kane that I know and love. It sounds creepy, I know, but moving on from there, let's talk about the IC Championship tournament that they had. Y'all, I enjoyed this tournament. I really did. But my best match that I saw for this tournament was Sheamus versus Bad News Barrett. Now, yeah, we've seen this before, but it's for the IC title, so it has a little bit more meaning to it. And the fact that Bad News Barrett won over Sheamus makes me so happy. This guy deserved a push. He deserved a push a long time ago. But I think with the whole Bad News Barrett character, the fact that people are starting to like him, it's starting to really help him push on a little bit more. But the one thing that kind of made me a little bit perturbed was seeing Cesaro versus RVD, with only Cesaro losing via countout. Yeah, I'm hoping that RVD does not win, because if RVD wins, that would be freaking sad. I'm tired of RVD coming back out of nowhere and end up getting all these title shots and he ends up losing. I'm tired of it, man, and I'm tired of these random appearances of RVD. Can you the whole purpose now after WrestleMania was the beginning of a new, and I'm gonna get into Evolution later on, but I'm tired of seeing legends pop up, y'all. It's time for them to disappear, and it's time for them to start pushing new stars, which I thought that's what they were going to do. I'm tired of these random signings of RVD. He needs to stay gone and stay retired. And besides, Cesaro lost via count out. This guy actually dumped the Big Show over the ring to win the Battle Royal. This guy has been pushed astronomically only for him to start feuding with Swagger again. Come on! But anyway, there's only two things that I can say about this tournament and how it's going to end. Either Bad News Barrett's going to beat the ever loving crap out of RVD, or RVD is going to beat Bad News Barrett. And I'm hoping that it's the other way around. I'm hoping that Bad News Barrett beats the ever loving crap out of RVD. But let's go back to probably one of the funniest moments of the night for me, and that was how, wow, Paul Heyman's promo got completely cut at least five. He had a 5 minute cut in his promo for Godzilla. I can't believe they went straight to commercial break during his promo, man. There's somebody in that booth, and there's somebody in that recording booth that does not like at all him mentioning that the Undertaker lost. I think he's like everybody else in the WWE universe. He does not want that to be mentioned at all. So what did he do? He cut the commercial. I think the producer just wasn't happy, and I think he was like, "Okay, cut the commercial. I'm tired of talking about that." I thought it was kind of funny, and it really kind of downgraded Paul Heyman a bit. But still, funniest moment of the night, man. Funniest moment of the night for me. Let's move on back to the mixed tag match. Well, kind of not sort of like a mixed tag match. It's the first Divas match of the night was Layla versus Emma. I like Emma, but I feel like Emma's character is so downgraded with Santino, and now she actually has a Cobra. Dude, come on. Can I have my Emma back? My Emma that fought Paige in probably one of the most epic feuds of NXT history. Well, NXT Divas history, in my opinion. Can we bring that Emma back? I'm tired of the snake. Okay, I love Santino, but I just don't give her a snake. Don't give her a snake. Okay, please. But still, they gave her a snake, and she hit her with it and won. And speaking of downgrading, Paige. I love Paige, but I'm not seeing Paige show her fullest. Actually, at first in the beginning, I didn't feel like I saw her for her full potential, but then she brought back her submission holds, and I'm like, yes, Paige is back. But the only problem is she's going up against random divas. Where's AJ? If anybody knows what happened to AJ, please leave a comment in the comment section below, because I don't know what the heck happened to her. She kind of vanished out the blue. Either she left or on hiatus, I have no idea. But the fact that Tamina is taking her spot in Extreme Rules shows me that something has happened. And if she does not interfere at all for Extreme Rules, that also shows me that something has happened. So if anybody really knows behind the scenes what happened to AJ Lee, leave a comment in the comment section below and just let me know. Because I'm really curious right now. Because it makes no sense for her not to be involved in this at all. We haven't seen her since the Raw after WrestleMania. Don't know what happened. She just vanished. But let's go into Evolution, shall we? Now, I'm all about Evolution back in the day, but there's two things that bothers me. Let's talk about the first thing. The first thing that bothers me about this whole thing is the fact that the whole purpose of WrestleMania, the whole theme of WrestleMania and after, for the Raw after, was the beginning of a new. I'm not going to talk about the ridiculous reality era. I'm going to talk about how it's on with the old and in with the new. They're trying to bring in the future. They're trying to pump up future stars. That was the whole purpose of everybody winning at WrestleMania 30. That was the main goal. Why the heck are you bringing back Evolution? And let's talk about the one thing that really does make me a little bit angry. With 3 members. That's like the 4 horsemen with only 3 guys. You can't do that, man. Especially the main guy that had one of the main focuses of the 4 horsemen, in my opinion, was Ric Flair. And Ric Flair was part of Evolution. I'm sorry, he was. And you're leaving him out. You're showing like little vignettes with bits and pieces of him in there, but then you completely cut him out for you 3. Come on. Why bring Evolution back without Flair? That's ridiculous. Do you think we're that stupid? Okay, sure, you can fool a kid, but you can't fool us. We know Ric Flair was in it. Why are you going to cut him out like that, man? Come on. Why even bring Evolution back without Flair? Yeah, and why would you even need Evolution? Evolution has no purpose at all, unless Batista is being booed so bad and nobody really give a flying flip about Orton, to where you had to bring back Triple H in order for people to notice him. That's dumb. Sorry, it is. I love Evolution. I love every bit of them back in the day when Flair was there. And I guess maybe it sounds biased coming from me since I am the nature girl. But still, I still think it's stupid. That's how I feel about it. Now let's move on to Bray Wyatt. Guys, it's great that the fans didn't lose all kinds of of emotion, feeling, and hope about Bray Wyatt. I don't really want to say hope, but maybe it's nice to see Bray Wyatt still getting some backing. It really is. Even after his loss at WrestleMania, people still care about Bray Wyatt, which makes me happy. I love Bray Wyatt because he's one of the best psychotic heels with the best psychotic faction ever, in my opinion. But then let's be honest here. Do I really care much about his promos anymore? Unfortunately, no. I guess because I maybe because I'm impatient, or the fact that Cena doesn't it's not making Cena flinch. It is nothing that really causes any emotion towards Cena, and Cena's promos are ridiculous because we already know that he does not care. You can tell in his voice, he doesn't care. He's not afraid of this guy. So why have all these promos in the dark anymore? Like I still love Bray Wyatt. I love his promos. They're always gonna be epic to me. But I would love to see a reaction from Cena that literally instills fear. But after his loss at WrestleMania, he doesn't care. But I'm hoping that things will actually change on down the line, so I'm going to be a little bit patient about that. So I'm not going to really talk too much about it. I could be wrong. So we're just going to move forward from that. But honestly, y'all, and one thing about it was actually leading towards the main event, seeing whether or not you're going to have one Wyatt, two Wyatts, or three Wyatts against John Cena. Did I care? No. But I like the ending. I like the fact that John Cena was laying flat on his back, which kind of makes me happy, which shows that maybe they have a little bit of hope in the storyline, period. But honestly, I didn't care about the main event at all. But I cared about it, not towards the beginning, but I cared about it towards the end. But besides all that, I will say that I'm tired of this whole WWE.com mess that they have the people choose who they're going to, have go against Cena. Because we already know, for those that have taken multiple choice tests, we know how they are. You got one stupid answer, you got one dumb answer, and then you have the answer that is obvious. That's pretty much what it is. Who picked the obvious answer? Everyone! And that's how it always is. So why care? But let's cap this whole review off with Alexander Rusev. Now, I cared about my Russian character. Sure, I know he's Bulgarian, okay? You don't have to write it in the comments. I know he's Bulgarian, and I know that Lana is Russian. So we say. I have no idea where she's from. But I do know this. People keep saying that Lana's hot. She is making the whole thing. Whatever. She has a great set of gams, but that's about it. But besides all that, I will say that Alexander Rusev is going to be booked like Vladimir Kozlov. He's going to be booked like a Russian. Say what you want, but he is booked like a Russian. He's booked like that now. I guess I really don't know what the language is in Bulgaria. I have no idea. But I know that Lana's name was written in Russian. And Alexander Rusev was probably written in Russian. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And maybe they do have a Russian background. I have no idea. I have to do research on that. But I will say this, as WWE storyline wise, he is going to be booked like a Russian. That's it. Hands down. Enough said. But guys, my overall view of Raw is this. It was actually pretty entertaining with the tag team tournament. I mean, with the IC Championship tournament. It really made the championship belt look like it was worth something. It's nice to see the Usos come back, especially after watching Total Divas on Sunday night. Congratulations to Jimmy for marrying Trinity. Awesome. And it was a beautiful wedding for those that haven't seen the show. But besides all that, I don't really care much for Ryback. Their name actually sounds like a laxative. But it wasn't a bad Raw. It really wasn't. I wish to have a storyline for Paige, and it would nice for her it would nice to actually see her go against AJ Lee, but I have no idea what happened to her. But honestly, it wasn't a bad Raw. I don't have a lot of objections. Okay, I have a few objections, but it wasn't a horrible Raw. It was kind of like meh. And I'm not gonna, quote on that. There have been some funny moments, but I'm not gonna really harp on that. But I will say that it was a decent Raw to watch and quite entertaining and funny. But guys, I want to hear your overall thoughts of Raw. Leave a comment in the comment section below and send me a video response on how you feel about Raw and what you would do to change it if you had your way. It's Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.